Hello guys, Tracy Sparkles in the building. So today's video is about Gen Z and the millennial. They are unending beef. In fact, this Gen Z have a lot to say concerning the millennial, and in turns, the millennial have a lot to say about the Gen Z. Like not something really good or like negative stuff. Guys, I would like to share these videos with you all. I'd like you all to watch all of these videos that I'll be sharing with you. Moving forward, please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. So guys, let's watch. When we're done watching, we'll come back to talk about it.
I was eating brunch, I was thinking about like this whole like Gen Z millennial.
I have a theory on the whole Gen Z millennial beef, and I think that it all comes down to Facebook and social media because like millennials, we were the cool ones on the internet. Like MySpace, Facebook, like those were our stomping grounds. Like we rolled our eyes at our parents for not understanding any of the social media lingo, but like we didn't have beef with our parents. Like we weren't concerned about like if they were cool or not, and they weren't hating on what we were doing like beyond a normal level. But millennials, like we're just obsessed with Gen Z because when like Instagram came around, Facebook was kind of being populated by the old people, and we're like, oh, we're too cool to be around the old people, so we went to Instagram, and then all the Gen Zers came on Instagram. But that is where the turns tabled, because Gen Z was like we're too cool to be around these old folks, so they all went to TikTok, and that is like the normal, that is what should have happened, except millennials were like, hold up, we're not ready to pass the torch yet, we're also cool, we're gonna follow you to TikTok, and to prove to you how cool we are, we're gonna make fun of every little thing that you do. When Gen Z, they're just like trying to have the normal like teenage, college, I don't know how old they are nowadays, but like just experience of just like coming up with trends and fads and creating new words, and like it's just part of the human experience. And millennials are so upset about it. Like they're so upset that our time is done and that like Gen Z, like they're the cool ones now. And like I wish millennials, like I guess I wish we were still cool. I don't know what I wish. All I know is that millennials are weirdly obsessed with Gen Z and them just trying to have a good time. And now like we're full grown adults having beef with the younger generation. And it's kind of embarrassing.
These Gen Z kids are crazy. Okay? Like I went to the market with my daughter in the cart, and these three boys are following me around. Like it was like weird. They kept popping up in a different, like every aisle that I was at, and they start hollering at me, and they're like, hey mama, and like they'll like compliment me, and I'm like, okay, cute, thanks, you know, I could be your mom, but thanks. And I mean, first of all, if they were like three grown-ass men, like I would be terrified, but you know, they're like young, like they look like they're in their early 20s, so I'm like, okay, you know, cute. And so I pay for my stuff, I put my daughter in the car, and we're leaving, and as I'm driving off, I see them on their bicycles, and they're following my car, and they're screaming, mommy, mommy. What the fuck? Don't call me mommy. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Like seriously, no. Ew.
Why the fuck y'all arguing over some millennials look younger, Gen Z look? Who the fuck cares? A lot of bitches in both generations are very ooga booga in the face anyway. Drink some tea. Get a nut. Shut up. Well, I should look younger than you. Okay, you still ugly anyway. So what the fuck
that? Now we see that the Gen Z and the millennial, they have this backbone, like you give me, I give you. Not even something good. The Gen Z are thinking that, oh, the millennials are jealous of us because a lot of things actually started during their time. Like this social media in our time when we were growing up as the age that these Gen Z are now, there was no social media per se. That now the Gen Z are thinking that, oh, the millennials are jealous of us. A lot of things that we wanted that we have now, they are jealous of us and stuff like that. In fact, one of the girl said, you people are old. So when you are saying, oh, I don't look like my age, the millennials actually look like their age, unlike how they think they look like, how they think that, oh, I don't look like my age, I'm so beautiful at my age, unlike the Gen Z who look older than their age, than their actual age, according to what they are saying. So this really seems sound funny to me, the whole thing. I don't know what's all the beef for. Like, what are we dragging? Well, guys, I like to share the remaining part of these videos for you all to watch, and when we are done watching, we'll come back to talk about it. Please watch to the end, because a lot of funny stitches that these people shared, a lot of things that you will watch and you just smile like, what's all of this? So guys, let's watch.
As someone who's 25, I'm on the border between Gen Z and millennial. Before any of you Gen Z are like, you're not a Gen Z, look it up. It's 1997 to 2013. Anyone who is born in or around 97 will understand, because half our age group is more like millennial and half our age group is more like Gen Z. And I have a theory about why millennials are the way that they are. The older millennials will be like, back in my day, and talk about like radio, CD players, Walkmans, stuff like that. But on the very tail end of millennial, like me, someone born in 97, the back in my day was learning how to Google search in elementary school. Let me just give you some context, okay? The first time that the internet was released to the public was 1993. That was 4 years before I was born. If you think about the most critical years in your development, what do you think about? Probably middle school, like around the ages of 11 to 15. And what was happening during that time? The birth of social media. Instagram came out in 2010. Snapchat came out in 2011. TikTok launched in 2017. When social media started to be a thing, there were like 3 main social media sites. It was Facebook, MySpace, and Tumblr. Oh, and YouTube, which is like our social media ancestor. What do you think about the amount of content that existed back then in like 2010 versus now? There wasn't a lot of subcultures that you could dive into. Social media drives our culture, and you were either a part of the mainstream or you were part of like the depths of Tumblr. And I think when you look at millennials, they're either part of the mainstream or they're not. And if they're not, they're trying to be a part of the mainstream or what they think is the mainstream, but it's different now. There's no one mainstream. Stuff that we called chuggy now was so popular back then. Like I would have given an arm and a leg for Ugg boots. But then in today's culture, we called it chuggy, and then we brought back Ugg boots, but like short. What I'm trying to say is that there was a culture shift. Everything that was considered popular and mainstream back then was actually popular. And Tumblr and YouTube in some cases were the places for people that were like, we do not fit in with the mainstream. But today there are just so many different subcultures that have just been born out of better algorithms, more content. We can only look back and think, why was there only one mainstream? Because now it's mainstream to not be mainstream. Because of sheer volume of content, it's not mainstream or not mainstream. Now it's aesthetic. But that's just my take. Zillennials, tap in.
I'm jacking millennials just don't want to grow up, because saying that Gen Z is aging like milk is crazy to me. Because what y'all really need to be worrying about is why y'all 3rd and 4th graders are reading at kindergarten level. Did you not just see they upped the retirement to 70? We're working 40 hours a week and it takes 80% of our paycheck to pay for rent. We're stressed. What are you talking about? I'm sorry, our rent don't cost a sack of potatoes no more. We actually have to put in work. And before y'all even come at me, this is somebody that have their own apartment and making almost 6 figures a year. And I'm still broke. Because if y'all was up making 6 figures a year, you guys would be living lavish right now. I should be able to afford a house. And I can't. And it's not about me, oh, maybe if you save your money and da-da-da. Oh, I save. And guess where that money goes? Back on a bill. I know people that have over 2-3 degrees and they still cannot afford New York City rent. So what are we talking about here? And for y'all talking about, oh, I'm 30, 35 and I look 19, you don't. You look 35. I can see it in your hands, babes. I can see in your wrinkles, babes. I can see in your neck. Babes, you're reaching. Them little compliments the waiters be giving you talking about, oh my God, you look like her sister. They're lying. Because we don't look alike, stink. And I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but worry about your own generation, gang. Because y'all kids can't even sit at a dining room table without iPads. We had crayons and coloring books. 4 cheap colored crayons that broke the moment you touched the paper, and we were happy. Your kids can't even hold a conversation. Their intellect is at a 0. Me personally, like, instead of worrying about Gen Z, I'll be worrying about why my child can't read. The help that y'all was getting, they canceled it before we can even turn 18. 21 even. We don't get that. Everything is going up but our wages. And y'all want us to work till we're 70? Y'all dumb in here. And respectfully, no shade, but to throw the whole forest, Y'all look y'all age. I don't know who needs to tell y'all that, because it's not going to be the Jamaicans down the block. Y'all look y'all age. You're welcome.
So I'm Generation X, but if you're a millennial, this one's for you because I've got questions. So y'all are approaching middle age because your oldest is around 43 and the youngest is around 30. And you've gotten a bad rap from other generations for spending money frivolously, like on avocado toast and Starbucks. You know, frappuccinos. 1 in 10 of you have said that you've already had a midlife crisis by the age of 34, and 1 in 2 fully anticipate having one before the age of 44. 81% of you say you can't afford to go through a midlife crisis, while 58% of you say you don't have time to go through a midlife crisis. 70% of you feel like you're not where you think you should be at this point in your life, and 1 in 2 of you feel trapped by it. So if you want to switch careers, change your appearance, buy an impulse purchase like a sports car, break up with your spouse, move somewhere new, travel, start a new hobby, you can't afford to do this. You don't have time to do this. What is it about you that's different from me? And is any of this even true?
Kind of denial-filled, middle-age crisis-ass bullshit is...
Question, why does Gen Z hate millennials so much? Like, us millennials are really just trying to just do our own thing. But Gen Z's always, like, shitting on us. Like, I remember one video where a girl, like, literally judged millennials for doing the millennial Zoom. And, like, how is that a problem? Does that bother you? Sorry. And honestly, like, when you are so judgmental and mean, it doesn't make you look very young. And apparently that woman is 20 years old. I won't say anything about that. But really, my big question is, why does Gen Z hate millennials so much? Y'all are the ones recreating trends and looks that we started, that we adopted. Like, flare jeans started when we were young. Butterfly clips were a thing when I was little. Digital cameras are back? What? Denim on denim? Yeah, that was us. See, I don't understand the point of her video. I really think she thought she did something, except she just proved the guy's point that we look good for our age. So anyways, maybe Gen Z should just stop hating on millennials and just focus on yourself. Honestly, just be kind. Bye.
There's this big trend going on right now talking about how Gen Z looks way older than millennials. And people are like, oh, it's because Gen Z, they overdid it with the skincare. They've wrecked their skin. They've done all this stuff. They look like aged organic avocados that you looked at and got scared and died. It's not that. You know what it is? Millennials are made of microplastics. Millennials are 100% microplastic. We grew up eating Lunchables. Lunchables aren't food. Lunchables are a series of food-scented plastic in different little shapes. And then we stacked it on top of each other and then we ate it between lip smackers and body glitter. We are 98% plastic and like 2% water. That's what millennials are made of. So plastic doesn't age. Don't take it personally, Gen Z. It's just that you have been eating organic and had a granola mom, so you're gonna struggle. It is what it is.
Funny, as in the whole thing is funny to me. Like, what exactly are the millennials and the Gen Z dragging? What are they dragging? What are they fighting for? Like, oh, you are this, you are that. Okay, now, I think what's making the Gen Z angry is the fact that the millennial always say that, oh, this Gen Z age faster. They age like old milk and spoiled avocado. In fact, if you tell me that, it will be very painful, because you know how spoiled milk look like. You can't even manage it. That's to say the Gen Z look far, far older than their age, while the millennial look far younger than their age. On the contrary, from what this millennial are thinking, Gen Z actually saying that you people look your age. In fact, you look older than your age, because from your hand, we already know that you are old. From everything, your looks, we know that you are old. So don't be saying, oh, I look younger than my age, because you millennial, you actually not younger than your age. Well, I don't know. For me, I'm a millennial, and I honestly don't see the reason why they keep beefing. Maybe it could be because of social media. And when you're going through the street of social media, you see some comment like Gen Z don't know something like this. in our time, Gen Z don't do this, Gen Z are mannerless, Gen Z always excuse their bad behavior for mental health. We see a lot of things like that on the internet, of which that can actually trigger this Gen Z. Truth be told, it can trigger them, make them angry, and make them want to retaliate. But whatever the case, I think personally, I believe millennials are actually looking very younger than their age. They look young. We have a lot of celebrities here in Nigeria. When they tell you their age, they look far younger than some of these Gen Z. So it could be because of their lifestyle, the lifestyle that the Gen Z are living, what they eat, and all of that, you know, and wanting to get mature so fast, you know, doing things that at their age they are not even supposed to be doing, wanting money so fast. They want quick money. We all know that about Gen Z. They don't want to follow the process. That is what I have noticed about Gen Z. And in our own time when we were younger, there are lots of things that we took easy. We weren't so desperate. Unlike now, you see a boy of 20, 21 wanting to own a mansion, wanting to own a lot of things that under normal circumstance he is even supposed to be in school, not to talk of looking for money to start doing things that his age is not even supposed to do. They don't want to follow the process. They are always in a haste. That is what I have noticed about some of these Gen Z. The fact is, it's not really all of them. Some, like I said. So that's my opinion. I don't know if you guys have contrary opinion to this. I'd like you all to share your opinion on this. Tell me what you think. Do you think this unending beef between Gen Z and the millennial is ending anytime soon? Do you also think that the Gen Z look far older than their age and the millennial look younger? So let your comment roll in. Drop your comment here in the comment section. And if you've watched me up to this very moment and you are yet to subscribe, please do subscribe, give my video a thumbs up, and if it's possible, turn on the notification bell so that when I post a video anytime, you will see it. I am Tracy, and right now I'm going to be signing